Oh hey guys, look where I am in the Dungeon of Nerdiness. Don't worry, this is only temporary. Anyway, I have a question to pose. Have you ever been into something that other people don't really understand, or seen people be really into something that you don't really understand? Well, I did not understand Sonic fans treating Sonic games like they're the most peak games in existence, so I'm surprised to admit at least one of them is. Sonic fans have always puzzled me for some reason. I don't know why, I've just always been puzzled. I'm sure some people don't understand us Zelda fans treating Zelda like it's peak, even though it is. Seriously though, I've done the same thing with Zelda, so I don't know why Sonic fans being passionate about Sonic have always confused me. Either way, that's all in the past after I gave in to Sonic fans and finally played Sonic Mania after not playing it for a while. And now it's one of my favorite games of all time. Yep, I took a complete 180 after experiencing the true perfection of Sonic Mania. There's just something about going back to a game you've played before that you didn't really understand, and finally getting what all the fuss is about. I understand Sonic Mania. The way the levels are designed, the way the bosses are designed, the way that one level in Sonic Mania is designed where when you play it as Knuckles, it's a completely different level. It's just perfect. Now, of course, Sonic Mania has gotten me reinterested in another Sonic game I have, Sonic Colors. It's pretty good. Maybe it's just because I went from playing Sonic Mania to Sonic Colors, but man, Sonic Colors seems so overrated. It's just not as fun and well designed as Sonic Mania is. I also have Sonic Heroes on the GameCube, which I tried to play. If only the disc had worked. But anyway, let me go over what I think makes Sonic Mania peak. What changed my mind about Sonic Mania? Well, I realized the game was not designed like other platformers. There's some general platforming sections, but there's a whole lot of speed sections, and it's those parts that made me understand why Sonic Mania was designed the way it is. You're supposed to find the most efficient and fast way to get through the level while looking out for special stages on the way, so you can get Chaos Emeralds and unlock Supersonic and speed through levels even faster. The sense of speed, level design, level themes, music, fun special stages, and insane replayability make this game easily one of my top 20, maybe top 10 favorite games of all time. One more thing to mention about Sonic Mania is the bosses. Now, all the bosses are pretty good, with not much to complain about, but the final bosses are top tier. My favorite boss might honestly be the one where you play Puyo Puyo against Eggman, like that's just so unnecessary. But it's also so cool that it's a thing. Anyway, the final boss is fantastic. You have so much to look out for and avoid as Eggman is bouncing around, which doesn't seem that special, but when he grabs you and sends you to another dimension where you have to survive or attack another boss is awesome. It makes the final boss so dynamic and interesting, and makes for a great end to a great game if you don't have all the Chaos Emeralds, because if you do have all the Chaos Emeralds by the end of the game, you also fight a secret final boss. In the final boss, you're forced to play as Supersonic and fight Eggman and Secret Egg Robo as you're speeding through the air. Or space. Yep, an absolutely fantastic game. Well, what makes Sonic Colors great, but not as great as Sonic Mania, is a great question that you didn't ask. So, Sonic Colors, am I right? So obviously I played the remastered version of this game, and man, this game is fun. I really enjoy the super speed meter and being able to go super fast whenever I want in the level, as long as I've gotten enough wisps to really fill the meter up. Also, the power-ups really make the levels fun and makes for some interesting level design. The 2D sections are also really fun, and so are the bosses. So, if I think this game was fun and great, I wonder what I could possibly have against this game. The controls are janky. They just don't feel remotely as precise as they should be, and makes the game so annoying to control. This isn't a problem most of the time, but when I have to start slowing down, doing anything is a hassle. It's so difficult just trying to get Sonic to jump the right way he's supposed to. It's just so wonky, and it makes any sections and levels where you're not going super fast kind of a pain. But that's not my only problem with it. The game is advertised to be primarily a 3D Sonic game with lots of 3D levels and sections. So when only 20% of the actual game is 3D and the rest is 2D, it misleads and disappoints me. Now, I still really enjoy the 2D sections, but when I got this game I was expecting more 3D than 2D. Actually, I wasn't expecting 2D at all. It was just a fun little surprise that really overstayed its welcome. Other than that though, this game is pretty peak. Yep, so I finally get what all the fuss is about with Sonic. And let me tell you, Sonic Mania is one of the most fun games I've played in, well, not that long, but still amazing. And also Sonic Colors, while not as fun as Sonic Mania, and I do have some issues with it, is still awesome. In fact, there's one thing in Sonic Colors that might make it more peak than Sonic Mania. I can customize Sonic's shoes?
Oh my god! Yes! Yes! Wow!